going to be going over the price action here with Shiba Inu. We're going to be doing a technical analysis and price prediction to see where Shiba Inu is about to come inside of the near future and the far future as well. We're going to be looking at every single time period. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button and subscribe if you want daily Shiba Inu videos. But let's talk about this. Now, this is the daily chart or the 4-hour chart. We are going to start on the 5 minute because we're going to go over from the 5 minute to the 15 minute to the 30 minute to the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, and daily chart to see where we stand from short term to long term. So currently, as of now, we are up 5% in the last 7 days on SHIB, and we are down 5.9% in the last 24 hours. So yeah, we've been having some nice movements in the market, had some pullbacks, but now we're kind of recovering from those pullbacks right now. So currently looking at this 5 minute chart here, you can see how we bounced off here from the RSI all the way down here. That was earlier yesterday, right on the 11th. You can see we came all the way down to the 0.00001285. That is the level down here with this white line. This is our support area. Now, we immediately broke out from there, got rejected here, got rejected again, and now we're trying to get right back up. So something that I like to point out here is whenever we have like micro support areas, and you can actually kind of see one here where we hit multiple times right before our previous pump inside a sheep. And you can tell because it hit it twice. So we had the micro support here, we had it hit here, we got rejected with that resistance here, and you can see that we also hit that level here as well. So it's an important level. That's why we pulled back from here when we reached all the way up at 0.000013. When we reached that area, we pulled back. Well, 1309, we pulled back all the way down to that 1290 level, and that is our new micro support area. So also, when you look at the MACD here, you can see that we are on its selling pressure wave right now, but you can see how it's about to start turning bullish from there. That's why it's starting to transfer. You can see these lightly red shaded candlesticks, almost like it wants to just go bullish. And also on the RSI has been beaten down as well on the 5 minute chart for SHIB. And you can also see that it does want to go bullish from here as well. So this RSI could cross at any time, and you'll see the MACD doing the exact same. So that's just one thing to watch out for. That's why I kind of like to do all these time frames so we can know exactly what's going on in every single point of time. So this is the 5 minute chart. So right now we should be bouncing off this support. Even if we break this support here and go down to the next support at 1284, we can still end up bouncing off that because we're pretty bullish here on the RSI and the MACD because we just had so much overselling at that point. So now looking at the 15 minute chart, we'll see a different story. Even if we bounce off just from looking at the 15 minute chart, if we do not cross here on the RSI, right? If the RSI continues on this downward momentum, then we will see that next push downwards to 1284. And if it broke that level, then we would have another support level that we would have to watch out for. And that's all the way down here, give or take about 1255. So that is another little micro level that we actually have here. And we can go ahead and set that now. And we can see we had resistance here before. We had support here before. Broke it very briefly here. So we broke that support very briefly here. But give or take, we still have some good areas here to use as support. Same thing with here. You can see even when we broke it, we stopped at a certain area, which you could use as a micro support. We had support there. We had resistance there. We had more resistance here, more resistance here. People pull back, more resistance here, same level. So that's why I always do these little small micro support levels. But yeah, so that is one thing that we have right there. And now what we really have to pay attention to is on the pullback here. So if we continue to pull back, right, and we end up breaking this level and going down lower, again, if the RSI doesn't cross, we will see more pain to the downside. And the MACD on the 15-minute chart is a little bit more bearish than the 5-minute chart. So in the ultra short term, we might see like a bounce up, but like when you go to the 15-minute chart, it does seem like we're going to have another pullback. And then if we keep going further and further, we come over here to the 30-minute chart. And the 30-minute chart does look slightly bearish as well. So obviously for the bull market, I'm long-term bullish, right? But we have to look at all these time frames. On this 30-minute chart here, we are looking like we have exhausted our buying. As you can see here, this buying is exhausted. So all of these green candlesticks here on the MACD going upwards, you can see working our way up to get more buying pressure, really. And then if you also look at the RSI, if the RSI doesn't cross down here and continue on an uptrend, you'll definitely see some more selling. So the 30-minute chart doesn't necessarily look too bullish, but we do see some bearish signals on the 30-minute. Now on the 1-hour chart, again, it's starting to look like we're overstaying our welcome here. But I will also say that the selling pressure isn't as strong as it once was before. Even though we had all of the selling pressure, you can see that it's slowing down. You can see how it's sitting down here on the bottom on the MACD here with the 1-hour chart. So as we go up inside of the length in our charts, we start to see that eventually we become bullish. So it does look like it's way more bullish than the other charts here when we look at the 1-hour chart. You can see here it's oversold on the MACD and the volume is starting to slow down. It's oversold on the MACD, indicating that it's ready to have another push to the upside. Oversold here on the RSI. See how it's just chilling at the bottom, waiting for the next pump. So really, it's just waiting for that volume to come in. Once that volume comes in, we're going to see a nice uptrend. Now, this is the 4-hour chart. I'll be honest, when I look at the 4-hour chart, it doesn't look like we have sold off enough to have that next breakout. It just doesn't look like it's sold off enough. It has to come down here to the overselling area for us to have a nice breakout. We could still have a breakout, but it might not be the biggest ever. And as you can see here, it has to get down here to the bottom. We need the RSI to continue to trend down to the bottom. So then once we cross at the bottom, we can make our way up and build that momentum back up. So we need to see a little bit of a further pullback. I think it would be nice if we pulled back to 0.00001255 or 1256. That level down there around 1250 to 1260, that is a much nicer buying point, and it also helps us build up that momentum as well. But when you come over here and look at the MACD for the 4-hour, you can definitely see there's a lot of selling that has happened, but it is ready to reverse back to the upside, but it could be short-lived. So we have to be very careful that this is not a bull trap. So for instance, this RSI is probably going to end up crossing and going upwards. That's just how it looks right now. It does it all the time. Comes down halfway, like back here, crosses, goes back up, and then it goes down fully, and then it makes its way back up. So it crossed halfway back there. And we can see the same thing happen back here, down halfway, cross went back up halfway again, and it did that one for a long time. So hypothetically speaking, it could go down halfway like it is now, and then it crosses and then goes back up, and then it makes its way back down again, or it just keeps doing it, coming down halfway for a while, and then we just keep going up, 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 and up, which it usually doesn't ever go up, 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 and up. We usually always have to pull back. Now, on the daily chart though, let's go ahead and pull that up. So this is the daily chart for Shiba Inu. Now the daily chart shows us something a lot more different. It's showing that we just came off of the bottom of overselling. So you can see all this area here was obviously oversold from July 22nd or the 21st all the way down to about the 2nd of August. And now this is the recovery result. I was pretty much recovering from that. So the MACD and the RSI, they have two different scenarios they can go here. We could see the RSI crossing here and then continuing on an even further downtrend, or we can see this as a recovery and curving upwards. And what's the likelihood of both of those happening? Honestly, I still think that this market can pull back, But we have so many different deciding factors. Like we have the CPI information coming out today, literally in a few hours, maybe like 4 or 5 hours. And then we have, I think PPI. They have data. We just have so much stuff going on. Uh, Interest rate decisions, all this other stuff. We'll see exactly what happens because that can definitely influence the market. But as of right now, we do have a possibility to have a reversal back to the upside. So be wary of that. The buying volume looks very weak here on the MACD, and it does look like it's ready to reverse to some more selling, but that could easily be changed with an influx of buying coming in. So currently at this moment, the market that we're in right now here is really dependent on when the volume starts coming in. Like the volume is not as big as it once was. So let's go back over here to the 1 hour chart. So just look at how small this volume is down here. We don't have much volume. If you come all the way back here, you start to see the volume is much larger in this area. So all it takes is the influx of buying coming in for it to be good. And again, the 1 hour chart kind of looks the best. And what I see here on the 1 hour chart is another pump coming in. That's just what it's looking like. It looks looking like it's been beaten down for a while and it's ready to take off. So short term, I do believe we have some potential, but we have to make sure that this is not a bull trap. Anyways, this is all I got for you all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and that is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want me to go over next. And as always, I'll be back with another video.